So I'm not sure if this summer will end up. I mean, we still have a couple weeks to go in the month of August. It's one of the hotter ones we've had in a while, but we've had plenty of days where humidity took us over 30, 35 degrees, right?
Yeah, and it's coming again this weekend.
This weekend, right. So we are looking, I guess, at the same situation that a lot of other places are looking at in cities, getting hotter and kind of wondering what's going to happen. We're told climate change, not going away, obviously. It's going to get worse unless we do something. But I think when you live in the city and you see all these stories on the news about other places where fires are breaking out and forests are burning down, you think, well, that could, never happen here. That's over there, not over here. But it's a concern. And the growing worries over climate change make it a bigger and bigger concern because temperatures will continue to rise, we're told. But the good news is there's something being done about it right here. Rajesh SENGUPTA is an associate professor in the Department of Geography at Mcgill, and they're a Bieler School of Environment as well. He's on the line right now. Thanks for being with us this afternoon.
Thanks, Sarah. Thanks for having me.
Sure. Can you tell us, I mean, when I say rising temperatures and we should worry if we're in big cities, what's the outlook here? What are you seeing and what are you trying to work out to prevent?
So I think one of the things that you didn't say in your news spiel just before I got online was that there are deaths happening in Montreal, right, due to excess heat. There's actually people dying. We know in 2018, 66 people died. Right, so that's a reality that the public health agencies are looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And as researchers, we're looking at that angle, but there's another angle we can look at. And with the city, the city is very interested in greening infrastructure, small green spaces, and especially there's a community organization called Peter Mcgill. Some of us who live in the downtown area have heard of Peter Mcgill, and as a very active group. And we are working with Peter Mcgill to see if there are some green spaces that can be developed, primarily with the intention of reducing the urban heat island effect, which causes higher nighttime temperatures in the heart of the city.
Okay, so that's a term I've heard quite a bit, and I've heard it specifically with regards to Montreal, a heat island. What creates a heat island? For me, the first thing that comes to mind is concrete. Is it because there's too much pavement?
So that's that's the whole issue, right? That we have so much concrete that is absorbing all the solar radiation in the daytime. And right, it's getting warm. So think of it like a brick that's heating up, right? And then as the night falls, that brick is going to release all the heat that it has accumulated through the day. The same thing with the concrete buildings, is they release the heat, and that's what you feel around you.
All right, so I'm trying to understand that. I remember reading something not that long ago where the city is planting, 6,000 trees in the downtown area, basically to do this, to deal with heat islands. What's the long-range plan here? I mean, what has to happen every year going forward?
So our hope is, this is where the research is being done, is that, if you create more green spaces, smaller ones too, that they will have somewhat of a attenuating effect, so reduction in the amount of green space that we have, in the urban heat island effect that we have. Doesn't matter if it's a 5 meter by 5 meter plot. It seems like even small patches can have an impact. Now, there was a study done in London, UK, right, which looked at Kensington Park, and they found that half a kilometer away from Kensington Park, you were still cooler than you were in the rest of London, right? But that's for a very large park, and we have Montreal. But I'm wondering if smaller spaces can also have an impact on the urban heat island. And I'm talking spaces that have 100 to 200 square meters in area.
I'd like to know a little bit more about these portable sensors that you've been using, Raja. So you've placed them around the city. Where are they and how do they work?
So, Natasha, right now we're just placing them on Mcgill campus itself. We haven't gone outside, but with our partnerships with Peter Mcgill and a partnership that's coming along with the City of Montreal West, we are going to start putting sensors further out. Now, there is my colleague, Scott Weisenthal, who is in the epidemiology department, who's put 200 sensors out in the city as well. So he's partnering with the City of Montreal as well. So there are a couple of us researchers who are looking at a broader area.
So what kind of data are those sensors going to give you, and then what do you do with it?
They're mostly temperature and humidity. And I think Scott's sensors do a little more. My sensors also measure land surface temperature. The idea is to get a good measure of exactly how much reduction in this urban heat island that we all know is happening. I mean, it's a phenomenon that's been studied for 100 years. There's been papers coming out for the last 30 years, but we still don't have this very good handle on exactly how much reduction can we expect if we have increase in green spaces.
Okay, but what it's telling you is that in those areas where you have more grass, more trees, more leaves, you can create these cool pockets, right? And those
right, exactly. Okay. So there's just cool pockets, and Montreal has the Green Alleyway project, right?
The green what? I'm sorry, what is it?
So
alleyway.
The Green
Alleyway, yes.
Project, right? So Montreal is also keen on converting certain areas. So the more green space we have, we can have local cooling pockets. You're absolutely right.
How do we compare to other big cities?
I suppose we're not as bad as some other cities because we have less high-rise.
Okay.
Right? But we could do better.
Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, I'm hearing you describe, what people are doing, researchers doing like yourself. What do individuals who listen to this think, can I do anything individually kind of as my part to help here? What do you do, or can you?
Get involved with your community organizations. Like I said, we can do the research we want, but we need partner organizations. We need Peter Mcgill. And Peter Mcgill is a very active a community organization and there are lots of community organizations all across Montreal who are interested. Cities are interested. We have City of Montreal West, as you said, they have their iTree program, right? So there are lots of cities who are creating community grassroots efforts to green their city. So I think just get involved.
And I understand that poorer communities actually end up being harder hit. Is that just simply because there's not green spaces in their areas?
That's right, Natasha. I mean, it's just the fact that, those if you live in a suburb, you probably have more green space around you. You have more trees. The houses are more spread out. There's more lawns. And if you're in the east of downtown area, there's less green space. That's basically it.
Now, I know, so you're talking about the Peter Mcgill group, you're talking about getting involved, which is great, and obviously something that people should do, because we should all be concerned. What about the city itself? We've heard the mayor talk about the fact that these things need to get done. Do you work collaboratively with the city?
I don't, but I do work with the Department of Public Health occasionally, and I know my colleague Scott Weisenthal works extensively with the city. So it depends on which researcher you're talking to. Some of us are working more closely with the city than I work more with community organizations.
I mean, right? Raj, I have to say I love the idea of asking people to get involved in community organizations, but so many people that I know have so little time available. Is there anything as individuals we can do? And I'm going to ask kind of a silly question, but can we just plant a tree or put a patch of grass on our front yard instead of gravel? Would that help at all?
Of course. I think that any kind of green space would help, right? And so, yes, if you can think about putting a green driveway instead of a gravel driveway, maybe that would help, right? So we're seeing that the higher percentage of green space you have, even small green spaces seem to have a mitigating effect. And that's all that the message that we are trying to pass on.
I need to know what a green driveway is. Is that a driveway made out of grass?
So you could pave it over, but leave space for greenery in between.
Okay.
Oh.
So
I've seen those actually. They're like slatted almost, and the grass grows up in between, but there's still some concrete. Interesting.
Different ways to do whatever you got to do to make it better. Raja, thank you so much for your time. Very much appreciated today.
Keep up the good work.
Thanks for having me, Aaron.
You bet.
And Natasha.
Raja SENGUPTA over at Mcgill. Yeah, it's good that people are involved. I've heard Peter Mcgill in the group. Don't know much about it beyond what he just said. Maybe worth spending a little time finding out.
I mean, I think what I'm astonished by, I love that they're doing this research and that they're measuring the temperatures, but I have to say, it just seems like such a simple solution. Why is this not just being done? Like, why do we have to? We know the more green it is, the cooler it is. So plant some more trees, make some more green spaces, especially in those underprivileged areas.
City's doing that, but I mean, you obviously can only put so many things in at the same time, and it does cost money. But I think the city's begun to realize it's important to get this done. So,
well, there's that other issue too, where you need to actually water the stuff. Remember, they planted all that stuff.
Well, there
and
is that.
Forgot to water it, so it all
small issue
died.
there.
Yeah.